And we are live. And we are here. We are now, as we always are. But how much of you, how much awareness are you bringing into this moment? How light of a feeling are you allowing in your being? How much joy, how much love, how much presence? This is the only variable. The degree by which we open up, we allow, we channel all of these synonymous words: consciousness, awareness, love, joy. It all flows as one, as one. These are all different ways of saying the very same thing. And in opening up, allowing for more of this in your being, not only do you ascend into a higher experience, a greater feeling, but you support us all in doing so as well. Because in our oneness, we are intertwined. Your state of being is intrinsically tied to the state of being and frequency of the collectives as well. You are the one infinite being. And so recognize that on all accounts, your presence is the greatest gift you can give, the greatest gift you can receive. It's both the giving and receiving. Both these energies are at play. Bring together these polarities into this paradoxical unity. I have started to connect to the message and guidance that I could be bringing forth a greater energy, as we always can. There's no limit to how much you can allow yourself to feel, no limit to how much there is in you to give. For the source of all things, is an infinite, inexhaustible source of energy. The message has been that there's been a cutting myself off, a blockage, if you will, of not allowing my energy to flow in ways that I've experienced it flowing in the past. And I've started to realize with greater clarity why this is. Can only ever be a choice, rather, a lack of consciousness. In awareness, we naturally channel a greater, higher expression of ourselves. And in this state that I wish to point you in the direction of, that I wish to embody within myself, there's very little, if any, need to spend time thinking about the best course of action. Rather, the highest decision, the decision that serves the highest good of all, is naturally flowed into the flow state. What a great place to be in. What a great state in surrendering to that flow and letting that higher vibration move you. It's both this active movement with a high degree of awareness, as well as this letting, this allowing yourself to be inspired and moved in whatever way that wishes to manifest through you. Just ensure that it's your highest, it's your truest, it's your lightest, it's your greatest. Allow in the better feeling. And again, this is not something you need to push. It's something that you activate. That's the active polarity. But equally true is it's in allowing the passive quality. Can you go beyond the concept of the mind and be both of these things? Because if you master this, I assure you, it'll support you in being in a greater state of being and enduring, having a greater experience. I started with a title, Is This Blocking Your Abundance? Because that's what was on mind when I was preparing for this live stream. A point of guidance, a message that was going to address and is going to address, because I'm being called back into where I was, what I was thinking at that time. But it's funny how when you just allow, you let go, you don't push for anything in particular, and you let go of any idea of what it should, what it is going to be. Who knows what might unfold? You might be taken in a completely different direction than what you may have anticipated. So why not let go of the anticipation? You can be in eagerness for what's to come, but open. Stay open, my friends. Because in being open, you might just be surprised at something greater than you've ever imagined, greater than you could have possibly imagined with the mind. Might just unfold for you. Family. Part of me wants to apologize, but I don't think anything has gone wrong. But that I feel like I'm in the feeling as though I've been letting you letting one, because, and this is a judgment that I'm making, that I am going to release from the higher perspective, observe from the higher perspective. But the judgment that I could be doing, I could be sharing and putting out a greater energy than I have been for myself, but for us all. I've admittedly been thinking about this judgment. So, on one hand of things, where I know that in my highest expression of self, I am releasing this and all judgment, for nothing has gone wrong. I'm whole. This moment is a divinely perfect one. I think equally important is that this idea, this thought that I could be giving more. And so I'm not going to put a pressure on myself in a way that suppresses in me joy, peace, a sense of peace. Though I am going to honor, observe, be attentive to this. And it feels right to say that I'm going to set the intention to be more of me, be more of, shine more of the love and light within me. And with that will flow greater joy, because it all flows as one. Nothing needs to happen. At the same time, we're not here to sit in meditation. Lightness, lightness, lightness. Feel peace in your body. Be at ease. And give your highest. Give your highest. Be your highest in all ways. You always know. You always know what the highest expression of you looks like in the physical. So I encourage you to be attentive to how you feel. To make it the fundamental practice of being attentive to how you feel, being aware, being present. This is the foundation. But let us not lose sight of the importance of following through with acting as our higher selves. You're going to have a hard time feeling in the ways that you deserve to if you aren't expressing in the physical that higher expression of self that you know you can be. So while I say Don't try to earn your sense of self-worth through your actions. Know that you're innately worthy. You're innately deserving of joy. Make sure that you're following through, family. Make sure that you are being all that you know you can be for yourself and for us all. And this is intrinsically tied to your state of being, your state, your expression of self, and your experience of reality are all intertwined. This is the message that I've been circling around these last few weeks. Your state of being, your expression of self, your experience of reality are all intertwined. Being in your highest on each of these dimensions entails being in your highest in them all. In your highest alignments. You're allowing yourself the better feeling. You're in governance of your state of being. What's happening outside you isn't playing influence in that. However, I feel like inevitably will. And your experience undoubtedly will be influenced by each and every one of these layers. They're all intertwined. We never got to the message. The topic is this blocking your abundance. I suppose that wasn't what wished to flow. That's why I stay open. I want to take a quick look at some of these comments and give a shout out and express my gratitude to those of you that are with me in the live stream. All the shoulds and coulds are subtle judgments that I try to catch myself. Life is not a struggle, but rather a surrender, says Hafiz. You got it, my friend. Doesn't need to be a struggle. You don't need to be in a sense of struggle. A sense of struggle is the product of fighting with life. We create the experience of struggle when we fight with life, when we resist any aspect of it, when we create this idea that there are separate aspects, good and bad. I want this, I don't want that. This creates that sense of struggle through the perception of separation, through the judgment that this is bad, this is unwanted. And then you end up in this experience of struggling against it, fighting against it. Whereas if we come back to center, we come back to acceptance, we come back to surrender. You'll make your peace with life. Make your peace with this experience. And this experience will continue to blossom into one that brings you many gifts, many, many gifts, ultimately just one. Do you believe it to be that? I'm seeing a lot of hearts. I'm going to allow that in. Brock, Taylor, thank you. I certainly would like to open up to receive that love in greater degrees. I know I could. I know I will. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being that mirror for me. Thank you for being a beautiful manifestation of the one that I get the opportunity to engage with, to witness, to receive. Each and every one of the beautiful, beautiful people on this planet at this time has something special to be witnessed with them. And that gift is not one that we need to even put to words. We just need to witness and observe. Everything of this experience is beautiful, is magical, is of love. Welcome it in. Welcome it in. See it as that. Start with loving yourself, loving all that is. Love is acceptance. Doesn't need to be anything in particular. Let it be exactly what it is. When you do, you'll know peace. On the note of, is this blocking your abundance? The message was, although I think we pointed to it, I know we pointed to it, is the idea that it's trying to make something happen, it's trying to manifest abundance, it's trying to get something. The very thing that is getting in the way of everything that you want is the wanting getting in the way of that which is wanted. Are you creating the experience of lack, of scarcity, by thinking that there's something that you don't have, that you want? Your abundance itself. You already are that. Realize this and actualize in your experience. This is why we got to move beyond. We don't got to. This is why I encourage you to move beyond the concepts and the confines of the mind. Your judgment, the judgments, including the judgment that I want this, I don't have this, I'm going to try to get this. That can be the very, very thing that keeps it from showing up in your experience, because the experience of abundance begins with a sense of abundance. And being in the thinking that There's something that you want that you don't have, that you're trying to get. Can very well be what is creating the experience, the sense and experience. Fundamentally, the sense that I'm not abundant. So ask yourself, do I feel abundant? You'll know. Do I feel abundant? What arises in your being? Be honest with yourself. If there's any part of you that doubts that you are abundant, check in with that. Where does that come from? What judgment is being, what belief, what story is being held that is keeping you from feeling abundant? Let's move in with this. I think we can do something powerful here. Although I don't think I have time. Ooh, this was a good one. I feel good. I feel good in my purpose, in the flow of my purpose, which can also be thought of and said. It can also be said that I'm just here now. Unfortunately, within this time construct, this linear experience that one is creating, there is a plan for a upcoming time that is very, very quickly approaching. And as much as I'm enjoying this, as great as this feels, as much love as I'm receiving through each and every one of you, although I know none of that's going to stop, I want to thank you all again. Thank you for continuing to be a source, continuing to be a mirror. That's the best way to put it. Continuing to be a mirror. Thank you for all that you are. I love you. Chat soon. I love you.